It's KK's Action Reviews. We are back in another video, and yes, guys, I know we were supposed to drop our Legacy review for episode 12 called "Not Those." What was it? Not those who wander are lost. Yes, that was the name of the episode of 12 yesterday. Yeah, my sister wasn't here, that's why we couldn't do it yesterday. But I'm happy we're able to get our spoiler review for you guys today. I really enjoyed this episode, but there are some, I don't know, there are some nitpicks because I was kind of angry on the outcome because we do get, like, I feel like we kind of got, like, the conclusion almost to the end of the whole Limbo storyline with Lark and, Landon and, Ted. There was, like, a whole bunch of, like, craziness that was going on with the whole wishing with the genie and how that all worked and how, like, Landon's like, oh, back in my D&D or whatever, there was this genie that, like, screwed us all over and, like, it just, like, the wishes didn't work out and, like, we can't, like, fall for genie's trickery and stuff. And, like, and he's like, if we're going to do this, we all have to be, like, we all can't, turn on one another. We have to be level-headed about our decision and how we say our wishes. So that way we don't mess up our wishes because we only get, like, he's like, oh, like, we only get 3 wishes. And he's like, the genie's like, that's not how it works. You guys get 1 wish each. So you guys have to be careful on how you guys request your wishes. I really did like, and as you guys know, I do not like the whole Limbo storyline. I have not been liking it. I thought it's been stupid because it's like, it takes all the...
It's annoying because I didn't want Lark to die, as you guys know in previous videos. I said I want Lark to die. And, I'm a big fan of Lark and Landon, so I was just annoyed with the whole storyline because...
Yeah, and I haven't been liking it because I was fine with the whole Lark and, Landon dying thing. I did not want Landon coming back. I was like, okay, there needs to be stakes in this show for us to really, like, care when people die. I just find it annoying. It's like... And it's just not, it's like a recalling theme of, like, I find out that the Larks died so many freaking times and have come back. It kind of takes the whole stakes out of the show and, like, and it kind of ruins storylines when you bring people back, you know what I mean? And it takes, like, the stakes of the show, like, oh, like, if people just die and they can come back, then, like, what's the point? It takes all the fun out of the show, kind of. So I just have not been liking this Limbo storyline, but I actually really liked the kind of, like, what we've been getting with the whole, like, oh, Landon's like, oh, for my D&D, oh, we have to be careful with genies, like, in their trickery and stuff. I kind of liked all that going on. And, like, in the Limbo, we ran into Elvis in Limbo, and then Lark's like, oh, I kind of got, now I know I kind of got my answer, of how I've been thinking about Elvis. I kind of got my answer of what he's been, like, what he has been up to or whatever. I just thought that was funny that Elvis was in Limbo. I thought it was funny that, the genie's like, oh, it's typical wishes. Some people want to be rich. Some people want to be famous. Some people want to be Lady Gaga, whoever that is. I was like, that was funny. That was a good one.
I really thought it was cool to watch Olympia the shit out of the genie.
That was funny because we do end up finding out when they all make their wishes, it does work for, for Landon, and it does work for Ted, but it doesn't work for Rick. And we find out it doesn't work for Rick because when they do get back to to Earth, and they're, it's Ted and Landon, they wake up at the gravesite where they were buried, and they do go back to, the Salvatore school. They try knocking on the door, but the genie pops up saying, look, and the thing, why I'm here, because, once you make a wish, I'm tethered to that wish. So I'm just letting you know, if people see you, there's a chance that they could, go into madness. Like, they could, like, we would be messing with their, like, messing with their way of thinking, like, once people die, they're dead or whatever. Like, you mess with their reality or something. He said something like that. You're messing with the natural order of things.
So when they knocked, and the little boy, I can't remember his name.
His name is, I always forget, but it's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember. What is his name?
Little boy.
I forget. It might come back to me later, but
I don't know what his supernatural power is. Is he a vampire?
I think he's a vampire.
The little boy, I can't remember the name. I think he's a vampire, but he opens the door
with that creature.
Yeah, I guess like his pet now.
It's just a pet now, I guess.
And they he didn't see them
because they hide.
Because they hid from him.
And I love when, like, Ted's like, really, you believe in that genie or whatever. He's like, look, I'm not trying to have, I'm happy to be back, but I'm not trying to have anybody, like, go into madness. And he's like, oh, what other ideas do you have? And of course, they're trying to go figure out why a lark isn't, why Rick didn't pop up with them. Like, why aren't they there? So he's like, something must have went wrong. So he ends up being a ghost. Like, pretending to be a ghost underneath the sheet, trying to get, time to talk to Wade, which was hilarious. He's like, oh, Wade, or whatever. I can't quite yet go to the afterlife. I need your help. And he tries to get information on, like, what's, like, and first things first is, like, Wade's not believing it. Like, first, Wade wasn't even waking up. He's like, oh, Wade. And he's like, Wade, or whatever. And he's like, oh, are you a ghost? He's like, oh, like, I don't, you sound like a crappy ghost. Shouldn't you know all this? And he's like, oh, you're dreaming. He's like, oh, this must be a dream. He's like, yes, it's a dream. He takes off the sheet. And he's like, okay, tell me what's been going on here. And he tells them, like, what's been happening with Lizzie, what's been happening with Josie, what's been happening with Hope, what happened to a lark, and explains that that's why he couldn't go back to Earth, is because he's not even dead. So he's just in limbo because he was in a coma. He's not dead. Hence that they had to go to the hospital, and, like, of course, Ted's dumbass thinks, we have to start his heart back up. He's like, that's not the problem. We need to figure out a way to bring him back here because he's not dead yet.
I wanted to go deal it, and it didn't work. And then because Landon pulled the plug out. Which
I thought was funny. He's like, let's start his heart. He's like, that's not the problem. We need to just figure out a way for him to, I guess, like, for him just to come back because he's not dead. So that's a different problem. He can wish for him to be back because he's already here. He's just in a coma. Yeah. That's not the problem of us starting back his heart. Hope kicked this shit in. And it's funny because when Landon and them end up getting sent back by the ghost riding looking ass monster, that's the problem. The genie explains to them, like, because when Landon and Ted get back, we see Rick kicking the crap out of the genie, pretty much angry that he didn't get his wish to get sent back. And then Landon's like, no, you're not dead. That's why your wish didn't work. And then Janie's like, okay, he's like, what are you guys doing back here in limbo? And that's when he finds out, of course, he's not dead. He's in a coma. And then that's when the genie's like, okay, let me explain to you guys what's happening. It's like, people have gotten out, but the stupid, skull ghost riding deity sends them back to limbo because they cheated their way back to being on Earth when they shouldn't have been. Yeah. It's not either you go to heaven or you stay, I guess, in the limbo or whatever, you go to wherever, or some shit, or they call it peace or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Alaric got back, but the thing was, Landon, Salem Boat, and freaking Ted became the necromancer again. Which I hate necromancer, pisses me off.
But I like because Landon made an agreement with Ted because Ted wanted to use his wish to get to peace, even though he got I don't know, peace must be not Earth. I don't even know because that kind of confused me, unless that's what peace is and I'm just confused or whatever. But I liked that Landon used his wish to get Ted out too. But Rick's didn't work because he wasn't dead. So what happens when they get sent back, they can't use their wishes again because they got sent back. So the thing is that when Rick found out, oh my god, I'm not dead, I still have my wish, he wished, okay, so the only way that can get us all back is if we turn Ted back into the necromancer. But I'm going to make my wish to turn him back into the necromancer, but he's only able to use his powers to send me back and to send Landon back. So he can't use his wish to cheat his way out of scamming the genie and saying, oh, I'm not giving you my soul, I'm asking for my freedom. He said, oh, you can't do that because when Rick used his wish, he made it so you can't use your wish like that, and you can only use your powers to send Rick back, and you can only use your one wish to send Landon back. So pretty much Necromancer is making it sound like he's going to make Landon's life a living hell because he's like, because he says oh, I'm going to stay here, and send you back or whatever, I guess, with my wish. But I think he said oh, I'm gonna send you back with my powers, but I'm gonna save my wish to scam my way, you know, out of, you know, of the genie, like, you know, I guess, you know, giving my soul to the genie or whatever, and scam the genie for my freedom. But I'm gonna leave Landon here, and and I'm gonna like torture you, and like that would be your torture. Or I guess, yeah, like that you left Landon here, and that you're gonna take all of the blame and everything that happened to your daughters and happened to Hope up there while Landon's down here. But that's not the case, because it goes, I guess, Rick just thought better, saying, look, you're not going to use your wish to get out of here. You're going to use your wish to get Landon out of here, and you're going to use your powers to get me out of here. And that's the only way you're able to use your powers, to get me out of here and use your wish to get Landon out of here. So pretty much I'm just loving it, because Landon is chilling. He's like, this isn't punishment for me. I get to help people down here, even though you're making it sound like you're going to make my life a living hell. I just don't care. I'm a half glass kind of full kind of guy. This isn't going to affect me.
Yeah.
And that kind of annoyed me, that when I first thought, oh great, like, so we're back from square one, where like Rick is out of limbo. He's back on Earth, and it's just now Necromancer instead of Ted, and it's now Landon. So we're back from square one, where it's like, will Landon get out? And I was kind of like, okay, like, you know, they dragged us all along this whole plot so they would all get back to Earth, but now we're back from square one again, where they're like, they wasted all that storyline almost for no reason, and now Necromancer instead of Ted is there, and Landon is there. But now I'm thinking that Ted's getting that, I guess that Necromancer is going to get annoyed at Landon for not, so that he can't, you know, torture Landon, and he'll just send Landon back, because it's like, if I can't even torture you here, I might as well send you back, because you're killing me with you making the best out of being down in limbo and helping people. And I feel like he's just gonna get sick of that and send Landon back. And I feel like that would be just in time before I guess like Lizzie and I guess Aurora, they come up with a plan to turn back time. So, you know, because we find out that
I feel like Lizzie and Aurora become friends after that.
I think they're friends now, because of the whole Lizzie betraying Hope to stop the torture that Hope was enduring on Aurora, and us finding out more about Aurora, that she had a brother, and that's why she wants revenge on, you know, on Hope, and, you know, and the whole, you know, Michelson situation. So
Klaus didn't like do anything to her.
But I guess it was also the fact of not only what happened there, but it's also Klaus, you know, breaking her heart and stuff like that, and she just wants to take revenge on that too. But because we start this episode also us seeing Aurora in a diner, and we see Lizzie and Hope find her, and then they start torturing her. But again, Lizzie never wanted to torture her. That's what Hope wanted to do. Lizzie wanted to just find out what information that she got just doing a head dive, but Hope insisted on torturing her, which was taking off her ring to make her catch on fire like so many times. They would have her catch on fire, close the curtains. Have her catch on fire, close the curtains, to have her just to torture her, because that's what Hope wants to do, but also getting the truth from her. That's what Hope wanted to do. But Lizzie came up with the idea to not torture her, but just get the information from her, and then just, you know, stop her that way. But, you know, Hope wanted to do what she was doing, and Hope's like, if you want to do a head dive, do it by yourself. And Lizzie's like, no, I'm a noob at this. I'm still, you know, I still suck at, you know, learning how to do all this stuff, so I can't do this by myself. But Hope's like, go do it. Well, Hope is trying to come up with this device that literally she ripped the thermostat out of the wall and created some like twisting like saw mechanism that would go in her as like torture. So like even if she'd be healing, the thing would just be like you know, ripping up her insides. Like she was able to like make it into a blade, the thermostat, which was disgusting. As like, you know, she would heal, but like it would just keep ripping up. It was like a torture that she would just keep, you know, enduring. While, you know, she's out of it, you know, she thinks she's talking to her brother, but she's actually talking to Lizzie. And that's when we really realize that, you know, she's broken just like Lizzie is. She is called crazy like Lizzie was called crazy. So she finds out like...
So she understands like how... Lizzie understands how Aurora is, because Lizzie's the same way. If you remember, Lizzie would, you know, get real angry and have his episodes and like make shit explode.
I did like that, how like she found she was very she was very compassionate at the fact that she knows how Aurora feels when you lose a sibling, because right now she doesn't have Josie anymore. Josie's going off, and she doesn't have Josie, so she understands what it's like to lose a sibling. Maybe not in the fact of like someone dying, but losing a sibling meaning someone's gone and that might never come back. And she knows also the fact how it feels to also going on with like her dad being in a coma and thinking he might die. So she knows how it feels for loss, and also losing hope. Having her humanity off is she lost her friend that she feels like she'll never be able to get back, because hope is just doesn't have her humanity gone. It's not the same hope that we all know.
She's too far gone.
I feel like, especially by the way we end this episode, where like she ends up like feeling emotional. And I thought she was just putting on a front just so she could stop the one dude in the road and like and suck on his blood and shit.
This is true.
And feed, but like she actually was, I felt like was going through the motions. I felt like she felt betrayed. She felt that Lizzie was right on that. Yet your humanity might be off, but you still feel like hate is an emotion, regardless of your humanity being off, and that you hate that, people are still trying to come for you and still trying to save you. You hate that. That's still an emotion, whether your humanity is off or not. You hate that. You still hate that, that people are like that are coming to save you. You hate that, but you know what I mean? Because you almost care still. So I just love the whole element of that Lizzie's speech was like, all that. I really enjoyed that.
First episode. Never so much I liked. I didn't really care for it.
I enjoyed it. This was probably the best episode we've gotten in a while.
If I don't talk in the videos as much as that, because I didn't really care for it.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed this episode. I also really enjoyed the fact of, again, when she does, I think for a minute her humanity did turn back on in that moment. She's like, I'm feeling things. And I think she turned it back off when she said, keep saying what you're saying. And he said, oh, I think he's like, oh, you're weird, or you're crazy, lady.
Yeah.
And then she starts feeding on him, and she's like, oh, I'm fine now. And then she heads into Mystic Falls, which I really did like, because that entails she's going home. I was like, this is great. She's going to go home. And as we all know, Rick is now awake, and Rick has to try to find a way to get Lizzie back, now knowing that she's now a heretic, but also trying to get Hope back. And use the and like remember what Landon said, like, oh, prove Necromancer wrong, that you're not going to take all this, you're not going to try to do all this and fix everything by yourself, that you're going to let the school help you fix things.
Yeah.
Like, prove Necromancer wrong. So hopefully he does that when he goes back to the school. He says, okay guys, we have to try to, turn back on Hope's humanity. Okay, let's try to all work together. And he doesn't try doing everything by himself. It looks like we're going to see Hope and we're not getting another episode until the 30th of March. 31st of March, which, again, that is literally the week of Moon Knight, which I'm excited, because Moon Knight comes out that Wednesday. And then we'll have Legacies on the 31st. And then we'll have, also, what else is on the 31st? Morbius. Morbius comes out on the 31st. Technically, it comes out April 1st, which is that Friday, but I'm seeing it on Thursday, so we might postpone Legacies until Friday. We might, just because Morbius comes out that Thursday, so I might postpone it until that Friday. But I'm super excited for the next episode of Legacies. I'm really getting back into it just from the fact that we're especially because now they're going to turn back time, and I feel like that's going to affect everything, because things are starting to go back to normal, where Alark is coming back, and I feel like Landon will come back, which is I didn't want him coming back, because again, you guys know how I feel about, I want stakes in the show, but now I kind of am here for it, Landon coming back almost, because it's weird, because just from us learning, with the whole, I feel like the whole I care more about the Limbo storyline just from this one episode than I cared previously about people coming back. It's I want him sort of to come back now almost, even though I kind of I'm upset that my theory will be right about Landon coming back, and Hope's humanity will turn back on because of that one reason. But I'm excited because if Landon comes back and it turns on Hope's humanity, and Lizzie doesn't know that any of this is happening, that Alark is fine now, that Hope's humanity is fine now, and Landon is back now, if Lizzie turns back time, that won't only that won't only make everybody forget that, like, you know, it won't only bring back, you know, like, Alark won't get his shit kicked in by Hope. It won't only, you know, make it where, like, I think it will still make it to the point where, like, Hope won't turn off. Wait, that might bring back Landon too. It depends on how far back we're going. Because I think that all happened in the same day, right? If I'm correct.
What?
Where, like, Hope turned on off her humanity the same day that, you know, Landon died. And that's the same day where, like, Alark got his shit kicked in. So, technically speaking, my theory originally was, before I just thought of that, is that it would bring back, yes, Alark, yes, before that would happen. Yes, it would make it probably happen maybe before Josie leaves, but will it make it before Hope? Yeah, it would make it before Hope even, like, turns off her humanity, which will make it before even maybe Landon, before, it depends on how far back we go, but maybe even before Landon dies, and maybe that somehow they can save him or whatever. But I feel like that wouldn't make any sense if they go back all that far. So I'm thinking maybe it'll just be before.
I hope it's before she kicks her.
I think it'll be before she'll be able to stop Hope from doing that. I think she'll go back that far, maybe.
And then go back to.
It just screws up everything if they do this, because it's kind of like things will still happen to Landon, but maybe they'll be able to stop Hope from turning off her humanity. Maybe that's what they just want to do, because they don't know. She doesn't know Landon's alive.
At least the god crap is over.
It will still happen. It'll probably still I mean, they'll know about Aurora, but I don't think Aurora will want to hurt anybody if they go back in time, because she'll have her brother back. So she won't even want to go on the killing spree, but I think they'll still try to stop. Actually, I don't even think the God storyline would even work then. So I guess this would really screw up things if they did go back, probably, because it would just screw up everything from what we know and what's already have happened. So I don't know. I feel like it was a good idea. I was like, okay, I'm excited about what could possibly happen, or it could just rearrange everything where, like, maybe my theory is about, maybe the God storyline could still happen, because Landon, I feel like you can't stop Landon from dying, because that's what needed to happen for things to stop.
Yeah.
So, which means we will still get the character Ben and the whole monster thing.
Oh, okay.
We'll still get all that. But I'm thinking Lizzie has a possibility of screwing everything up when things are starting to go back to normal. That's what I'm scared about, is that things will go normal and we'll see Landon come back, and that will be the last episode probably. This is my theory, where Landon will come back, Hope's humanity will come on, but Lizzie won't know about Alark being back, Landon being back, Hope's humanity being back on, and she'll reset everything, and she'll try to stop Hope from killing Alark, but then things will happen or something like that. I feel like maybe there's a chance that, like, we might do, like, a whole rerun of what we already saw, but she's trying to stop everything from happening, maybe realizing she can't do it, and then maybe go back before she does it. I think we're gonna get some Back to the Future type shit, probably, which I don't know if I like, because I kind of like how things are starting to go back to normal. I feel like I won't like if they do this whole time travel thing, because they'll screw up everything.
I want Ben and Jed together.
I could care less. I could care less. I don't think that. I don't like that plot line, because again, it makes no sense. They just met, and we've never seen it. Would just be out of nowhere. I don't know if I would like that. You guys know I don't like that Ben character. He's not an interesting character. They just expected we would care about the character, and I just don't care. I don't like this whole God storyline, as you guys know. Because again, even if they it takes the whole. It's like, why are we doing the God storyline if it's all gonna get undone? Because it looks like Aurora doesn't even want to go after Hope anymore, because they're gonna get back Aurora's brother, and it looks like the gods won't even have anything to do with anything anymore.
Aurora only killed. I think Aurora only killed and turned into a vampire because she lost her brother.
Well, we'll still get
that's exactly what happened. I didn't watch. I stopped watching the originals in season 3. So
I still think we'll still get the God storyline, even if they go back and save Aurora's brother. We'll still get it. I just don't like this God storyline, because I don't like the whole God situation and things. But it's like, I don't know. I'm excited to see where things will go now, because things are starting to get interesting. Because again, I pointed out to Annie, when even Alark found out that he wasn't dead, and he's like, oh, what's going? What are you keeping a secret from me, Landon, about Lizzie, Josie, and Hope? He did not know Hope turned off her humanity. He didn't even remember. He's like, oh, what's going on with Hope and everybody? So when he must have lost memory of what happened to Hope and him getting his shit kicked in, and then her becoming, her, all that stuff, like him being put in a coma. He must have forgot all of that.
I wonder why he wakes up wondering why he's in the hospital.
Exactly. He didn't know that he was.
And he just felt say, because all the other crap that he was talking about too, he rips off the EKG thing.
Yeah, he just didn't.
His IVs, all of that.
He didn't remember that. He knew that he must have been dead, but he didn't remember how it happened clearly because he said what happened to Hope. He didn't know. So I'm assuming he lost his memory because he was shocked when he found out about Lizzie being a heretic, Josie being gone, Hope becoming the villain. He forgot about all that stuff. So I mean, that's very interesting to me. I'm just liking where things are going now. But I'm still not, we have a potential to have a good storyline if they do turn back the time thing. I just don't want it to be where it's the storyline can get worse than it is if they go back. But I do like the possibility of things are going back to normal and Lizzie turning everything back in time, realizing she wants to stop everything from happening, but she screws up. Maybe make things even worse by stopping everything, and she tries to go back again. I would like that, but I don't know if I would like that at the same time. It's I don't know. I'm kind of in a. I like this episode, and I kind of am liking where the possibilities could go, but I'm worried at the same time where these possibilities could go, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like Legacies has been a real big mixed bag this season, and it's I don't know. It's I don't know. I forget somewhat how we even started this season.
I don't care. I didn't care.
Eventually I might go back and remember how we started this season because I kind of forget. Because I've just not been felt pulled out of the show until this episode where I'm actually interested now. And that's cool. They were able to flip the switch on me. I did not want people I did not want Alart coming back. I did not want Landon coming back. But now that they kind of did this episode, I'm okay, I'm fine with Alart coming back now. I'm fine with Landon coming back now. Because it's we have potential of okay, also even if Landon does come back, Lizzie can undo everything. Or it's things can get screwed up. I'm kind of interested to see where things will go. But I really did like this episode. She didn't really like this episode. But we are I'm excited for the next episode we get. Are you?
Kind of, yeah.
But yeah, we will, but yeah, guys, want to know in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode. Did you guys like this episode? Let me know how you guys think about my theories about the whole Lizzie turning back time right as Landon comes back and she has her humanity back on. And then when she turns back time, she might screw everything up trying to save everybody and stop everything from happening. And she goes back and stuff. Let me know how you guys think about all my theories about that. But guys, that was the video for episode 12 of season 4 of Legacies. Yeah, I just really enjoyed this episode, and I feel I'm starting to get back into it. But yeah, guys, that was the video. We hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and we'll see you guys next, next on the 31st, or actually the 32nd, the 32nd, yeah.
No, we'll see them on the 20th Riverdale.
Oh yeah, you will, yeah. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the 32nd of
31st.
No, because the 31st is right. Yeah.
Is it 30 or 31 days in a year?
Yeah. My sister's right. I'll see you on that Friday. We'll see you on that Friday of that week. But guys, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.